Amid mounting international pressure and a spiraling humanitarian crisis in Gaza, Israel says it has not agreed to a ceasefire or prisoner exchange, despite the anticipated release of a US-Israeli captive by Hamas. Israeli-American soldier Eden Alexander is expected to be released by Hamas in what the group calls a goodwill gesture towards US President Donald Trump. Alexander is believed to be the last surviving American captive in Gaza. His release, expected to take place near Khan Yunis, is being handled under tight secrecy by the Red Cross, with no formal ceremony planned, unlike previous hostage exchanges. But Israel insists that it has not agreed to a ceasefire or any prisoner swap. According to Prime Minister Netanyahu's office, military operations in Gaza will continue, and Hamas was pressured into releasing Alexander. Israel says it only agreed to allow safe passage for the handover. Meanwhile, Hamas told AFP that mediators had informed them of a temporary pause for the release and added that they are open to intensive negotiations for long-term truce, prisoners exchanges, and a transition of power in Gaza to an independent technocratic body. Despite talks of the release, Israeli airstrikes have continued across the Gaza Strip. At least 10 people were killed overnight in Jabalia when school housing displaced civilians was bombed, according to Gaza's civil defense. Strikes have also been reported in Rafah, Gaza City, and the Nuseirat refugee camp as Israel pushes forward with its campaign. A new report by the Integrated Food Security Phase Classification has warned that Gaza's entire population is facing a critical risk of famine. At least 500,000 people are already starving. This follows Gaza's own report last week that 57 people, mostly children, have died of hunger since Israel imposed a total blockade on March 2nd. Authorities in Gaza say food is being used as a weapon of war and have called on the international community to pressure Israel to lift the blockade. Gaza's health ministry says hospitals are in total disarray, operating without surgical tools, X-ray or anesthesia machines, and even basic supplies like medical gas and bed sheets. Staff are reportedly working around the clock under impossible conditions, with no resources to maintain hygiene or perform safe surgeries. In Europe, Norway's sovereign wealth fund, the world's largest, has sold its shares in Paz Retail and Energy, citing the company's supply of fuel to illegal Israeli settlements in the West Bank. This marks the second divestment linked to an Israeli operations in the occupied territories as calls intensify in Norway to fully sever ties with companies linked to Israel. At the same time, Israel is pushing back legally. It has formally asked the International Criminal Court to withdraw arrest warrants against Prime Minister Netanyahu and his former defense minister. The warrants issued last November accused them of war crimes and crimes against humanity in Gaza. Israel is also seeking to pause the ICC's ongoing investigation, arguing that the court lacks jurisdiction. While the expected release of Eden Alexander offers a glimmer of diplomacy, the situation on the ground tells a different story. With famine looming, bombs falling, and legal challenges mounting, the crisis in Gaza remains far from over. For continuing coverage on the Israel-Gaza conflict and the global response, subscribe to DawnNews English.